Hello friends, myself Dr. Pratap Singh. Welcome once again. In the new episode of Invited Talk, we often call people as a guest to contribute their talk on our radio platform on any topic of their interest. In the past episodes, you have listened wonderful talk from the academicians, researchers and students. We hope you have enjoyed their talk. As you know, Mahamana Innovative Technologies Welfare Society is a registered non-governmental organization situated in Nawabganj, Bareilly. We are working on education and for the upliftment of rural and poor peoples and for the reform in the education system and also for the research system of this country and support the research scholars. So, in the series of Invited Talk, today along with us, a wonderful speaker and academician, Dr. Rajiya from Kashmir. She is doing teaching and research work in the area of English literature, and we are welcoming and appreciated her effort for giving us this wonderful talk. So please listen again to Dr. Rajiya from Kashmir, and we welcome once again. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone. This gives me an immense pleasure to introduce myself here in this radio program. Myself, Dr. Rajiya, and I'm from English literature background. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Pratap Singh and Dr. Deepak for giving me this opportunity to present my topic here in this radio program. So friends, today I shall be talking about America as a nation of immigrants, and we'll talk about the consequences of immigrant experience. Also, I shall be talking about one of the diaspora writer, Palahari, and who herself has been engaged with the diasporic experience at a personal and creative level. America can be called as the land of immigrants. It has a dynamic population of about 300 million, out of which more than 30 million are foreign-born individuals. It is a nation created by immigrants for immigrants. Also known as the land of opportunity, America was built on the foundation of freedom and equal opportunity. Throughout its history, it has welcomed immigrants from all over the world who came with the hopes of living their versions of American dream. It is estimated that around 1 million new immigrants arrive each year in the US, and mostly from Asia and Latin America. In 1990, there were more than 7 million people of Asian descent in the US. These Indian, Pakistani, Sri Lankan and Bangladeshi immigrants have played a significant role in the creation of multicultural, pluralistic society. But the issues of religious, ethnic and linguistic diversity constantly raised their heads. Coming as they do from places where identity is largely derived from religion, caste, patriarchy and mother tongue, these immigrant groups have had to adjust to their new home and keep up with its rushed pace and frantic mobility. Needless to say, cultural encounters are always tension-ridden and complicated and demand negotiating between a pull for assimilation in the host culture while holding on precariously to the values and practices of original homes. The experience of dislocation from one place to another alters the lives and language of the immigrants. Suffering from the trauma of being far from their homeland, they remain affected by the memories of their motherland. The adaptation of immigrants to new social and cultural environment can be fraught with cultural shock, which can have significant effects on their well-being. When immigrants fail to assimilate or integrate into the host culture, they develop a double identity and become representatives of a sandwich culture. Within the framework of acculturation theory, the psychological and social cultural aspects of adaptation have been explored. Acculturation within the context of immigration is defined as a combination of cultural chains resulting from the interaction between immigrant and host country population. The term acculturation is ruled by two dimensions. First, the extent to which the ethnic culture is maintained, and second, the extent to which host culture is adopted and assimilated. Many intellectuals and theorists have brought to light a number of issues in the lives of diasporic people. For instance, the patterns and dynamics of cultural integration for the immigrants, how these differ for the immigrants of different ethnic groups. The impact of immigration on the host societies, the problem faced by the immigrants during the process of their adaptation in the host culture. So, curative writing in America seeks to chronicle the complex character of cultural encounters and the power dynamics operating in multicultural America. Minority voices and marginalized groups are increasingly assuming center stage in today's world. In literary sphere too, they are gaining ascendancy, resulting in questioning of existing power equations and refashioning of given hierarchies. The demographic and cultural fabric of a multicultural America, for example, is redefined and reformed by subcultural groups and other immigrant and ethnic minorities. In recent years, significant creative writing from the US has come from these subcultural groups who are gaining unprecedented visibility. They have used writing as a strong medium to assert their presence, reclaim their cultural heritage and racial history, and interrogate prevailing hegemonies. Current talk focus too is on the patterns and dynamic of cultural incursions and exclusions. Relationship between history, politics, and culture are being rethought and re-examined, while questions related to individual and communal identity are being debated. As mentioned earlier, a significant ethnic group in America's diverse population comprises of South Asians. Lured by the American dream, millions of South Asians have over the years migrated to the land of opportunity. Like other immigrants, they too have altered the character and complexion of US and have been altered in turn. Creative writers from this diasporic group have tried to explore what Bill Ashcraft calls in another context the relationship between self and place. By concerning themselves largely with the relationship of South Asians with America, these writers have sought to chronicle the highly nuanced and complicated process of acculturation. Ketu H. Kartik remarks that South Asian American writers in English are among the newest voices in multi-ethnic Asian America. In generic terms, the novel and short story have been predominant, though influential dramatists and poets are emerging. South Asian women writers have in particular created a greater impact than their male counterparts. Bharati Mukherjee, Jhumpa Lahiri, Meena Alexander, Uma Parveshwaram, Bapsi Sidhwa, Chitra Banerjee and Tahira Naqvi are some of the South Asian women writers who have gained international recognition. Their writings emerge from the charts, those vibrant moments where a diasporic aggregation of flows and convergences frequently occurs. In their work, they engage with the adaptations, transformations, and translations associated with the immigrant experience. So, when we talk about Jhumpa Lahiri, she has won acclaim as a South Asian American writer who navigates a double identity at a personal and creative level. Straddling two cultures, she explores the immigrant experience, grapples with the problems of adjustment in the new world and the vices, the predicaments accompanying physical and cultural dislocation and relocation. Of Indian origin, Lahiri grew up in America. Her fiction is largely autobiographical and frequently draws upon her own experiences and those of her acquaintances in the Bengali American community. Her debut short story collection, Interpreter of Melodies, won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction and addresses the dilemmas in the lives of Indian immigrants. Her first novel, The Namesake, continues with an exploration of an Indian American identity. Unextombed Earth achieved the rare distinction of debuting at number 1 on the New York Times bestseller list. Lahiri's latest novel, The Lowland, was a nominee for the Man Booker Prize and National Book Award for Fiction. Here again she concerns herself with two worlds, that is America and India. As a diasporic writer, Lahiri reacts to the invisibility of minority group in America's writing and in the racist stereotyping of Asians. She articulates the dilemma of dual identity, confronted by the immigrants, and explores their condition of in-betweenness. She writes about the people around her and who have settled abroad and explores their diasporic consciences with sensitivity and compassion. Her stories are filled with images of loss, longing, and pain. One can conclude that Lahiri succeeds in bringing alive for readers the Indian American experience, not as something exotic and alien, but as something human and shared. In her stories, she is able to paint the complex life of the immigrant with its joys and sorrows, confusions and dilemmas, gains and losses, and depict cultural collision in all its ramifications. So, dear friends, this was my topic for today, in which we talked about America, the land of immigrants, and we talked about some South Asian diaspora writers, and in detail we discussed Jhumpa Lahiri. And I believe this will help our future students and scholars to read more and more about diaspora writers. Thank you.